Hello, my friends. Welcome. My name is Natalie, and I am really excited to be getting into the flow with you. So, today's practice is a trauma informed yoga practice, and it's a more general sequence and intended to be more gentle. But there will be some moments of heat and activation. Now, the reason that I say this with you is it is more general, and as we know, trauma is very specific to the individual. So that means that it's really important for you to tune into your own experience, to tune into your own body's needs, and to meet yourself where you're at. And so, taking a variation or a modification of a posture, even if it's not one that I cue, you are welcome to make this fully your own, right? Your body, your practice, your choice. And so, if you start to notice that you're beginning to get a little activated, you're noticing that you're breathing a little quicker, your heart rate is starting to increase, having thoughts of wanting to leave or having anger thoughts. Why are we moving so slowly? Things like that. It's a good indicator that you're in that sympathetic, that fight or flight state. And when you notice that, if you notice that, you can pause, slow your breathing, come back to safety, back to connection, and then you can join the practice again. On the other end of the spectrum, if you're noticing that you're in that shut off, that removed, that place where you're not really fully in your body, not really fully present, in that sort of dissociative state, that's a freeze response. That's your dorsal vagal. And so if you notice that, right, pause, maybe breathe a little quicker, maybe tap, maybe shake, do whatever you need to do to come back into presence and then enter the practice again. And when you're doing that, you are reorienting yourself from a dysregulated state to a state of connection, presence, regulated nervous system. And that's strengthening those neural pathways back to that ventral state, back to that state of connection and safety. And that is really the heart of this practice. Okay, so take what you need, pause as you need to, honor where you're at, and I'm looking forward to practicing with you. So before we dive in, I'm just going to give you a moment now to do whatever you need to do to make sure that your space is really supporting you today. So make sure if you want to close your door or lock your door, you need to put your phone out of sight, out of mind. Maybe light some incense, maybe get a blanket, some socks. Whatever it is that you need to do, take a few moments now, maybe some water, get those things ready so that you can really settle in. Today's practice will start with a breathing practice, Dirga Pranayama, breathing a little deeper into the body than we usually do, a little less than 5 minutes. We'll move into some lying down movements and postures, asana, and then some seated and some standing. And then we'll close with a rest, Shavasana, and I'll give you some options there, and we'll stay there for about 5 minutes. So that is how our practice is going to go today, and I'm glad you're here. So let's begin. So for this breathing practice, this pranayama, you can be seated if that feels most comfortable. You can also lie down on your back in what we call constructive rest. I'm going to scooch back onto my yoga mat to show you. So you can take this lying down with your feet planted and your knees knocking in toward one another. Or again, you can be seated. It's up to you. And then maybe you let your eyes close, or perhaps just softening the corners of the eyes. Feeling the spine lengthening, either from your seated position or feeling the whole spine resting into the surface that supports you. And perhaps you leave your hands by your side, or maybe you bring one hand to the low abdomen and then the other to rest on the heart space. And start to just tune into your natural rhythm of breath. Feeling the gentle expansions and contractions. And we'll begin our Dirga Pranayama by sending the breath into the low abdomen. So breathing in, feeling this expansion. And then exhaling, feeling the navel gently draw in. Again, breathing in through the nose, feeling the low abdomen. And then breathing out through the nose. Take one more round just like that. Next in breath, we'll breathe into the low abdomen. And then start to breathe into the ribs, feeling that expansion there. Exhale, ribs. Exhale, abdomen. Again, these two parts of the breath filling up. And clearing out. One more like that. This time we'll start at the bottom of the breath, filling up, filling through the ribs. And then inhale all the way to the top. So lifting collarbones up. Complete breath. And exhale, collarbones. Exhale, ribs. Exhale, abdomen. Again, breathing in, starting from the bottom of the breath, through the mid body, and then all the way to the top. And then clearing out top to bottom. Take a few more rounds. I'll go quiet. When you exhale completely, start to return to the natural rhythm of your breath again. So without trying to control it or alter it in any way. Just noticing maybe there's already been a shift. And then we'll start to bring the hands out to a cactus. So if you are sitting for the breathing practice, I'll invite you now to lie down in constructive rest. And we'll flex the toes up towards the ceiling and take the heels a little wider than hips distance. And we'll just let the knees knock to the left side and then bring them through center and then let them knock towards the right side. And we'll do that again. So just shifting the knees from left to right, maybe starting to weave in the breath with the movement. Maybe inhaling as the knees lift, exhaling as the knees drop. Be hearing some creaks and cracks in the body, and that's okay. And then when the knees drop over to the right side, actually, let's pick them up through center again. And then we'll take the heels towards the ceiling, take the arms up towards the ceiling. And let's just make little circles in the wrists and the ankles. And softening the abdomen as you're here. We don't need to add any extra tension in the body. Make sure you reverse the directions of your circles. And then give everything just a little shake. So shaking the legs, shaking the hands, the arms. Maybe an exhale. Good. And then let that go. And we'll roll over to the right side of the body. So just rolling over, finding a fetal position. I'm just going to adjust my microphone here. So resting your head on your arm, resting your knees on top of each other. And we'll extend that left leg nice and long. Maybe you extend the arm too, whatever is most comfortable. So extending that heel really long, almost like you're drawing it as far away from the body as you can, finding that lengthening. And take a breath in here. And then start to draw the knee in towards the chest, curling in, emptying out the breath. We'll inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, curling in. Lengthen. Exhale, curl in. Navel to spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We'll find one last lengthening. Inhale. Then let the leg rest on the ground. And then we'll inhale, lifting the heel up just about a foot or so. Exhale down. Inhale, lift and lower. Lift and lower. Maybe feeling the body engaging a little bit here. Noticing some heat or some sensation. And then letting the leg fully rest down. Maybe you bend it in. And maybe you even bring your hand just to the areas that you started to feel some sensation. Just offering yourself a kind touch. And we'll go to the other side. Now you can just roll over. I'm going to lift up and lower down just so I don't have my back towards you. And so coming onto the left side, and first giving yourself the same permission to soften into your mat, even knowing what's coming next, giving yourself the rest. We'll extend that top leg long. And again, feel that heel reaching far away from you. Filling the side body with breath. Inhale. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, drawing it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, contract. Moving with the breath, continue. You can always pause when you need to. We'll find that lengthening, that extension, and then let the leg rest down on the ground. Feeling the muscles of the leg softening. Flexing the foot again, reaching it up to hover, lifting it up. Inhale and exhale. And continue. Just noticing where you're feeling the sensation in the body. And then when you are ready, resting the leg down, maybe stacking the knees again if that feels comfortable. And then perhaps bringing the hand to the areas where you felt that sensation, just offering them some kindness. And then using your palms to press into the mat and lift your way up to a comfortable seated position. So take your time getting there. Maybe you have a block that you want to sit on or a blanket to prop your hips up. Just however you can find a nice tall spine. Maybe you're even in a chair. We'll start by dropping chin to chest, feeling the back of the neck starting to open. If you'd like to add more sensation, you can bring your fingertips to the top back of the head and just let them rest there. Lengthening the cervical spine here, so using your breath, or rather just letting your breath. We'll start to let that go. So if your hands are on your head, you can remove them. And we'll roll the right ear to the right shoulder. And then imagine that left shoulder just pressing down away from the ear, creating even more length. If you'd like to add the weight of your right hand on top of your head, and you can do that. I don't know if you can hear my dog barking. Hopefully not. It's okay. Staying present with the stretch, even when there are other things happening externally. And then we'll come back through center. So again, dropping chin to chest. Then we'll roll left ear to left shoulder. Imagine that right shoulder pressing down. And then if you'd like to add the weight of your left hand on top of your head, you can. Or any other variations that you might have taken on the other side. See if you can tune into where the stretch begins, where it ends. And then you can start to let that go. And we'll drop chin to chest again. And this time we'll just rock right ear to right shoulder and then drop chin to chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. And exhale, chin to chest. So maybe you bring in the breath if that feels comfortable. Or maybe you're just really tuning into the movement. And you can close your eyes or keep the gaze or keep the eyes open if that feels better. Just rocking from side to side. And then maybe taking some full circles all the way around, lifting the chin, feeling the front neck muscle stretching. Really take your time. You can pause where you need to. You can go slowly, you can go quickly. Make sure that you reverse the circles if you're taking them. Softening the tongue and the mouth. And we'll come back to center, so neutral spine. Let's bring our fingertips to our shoulders, and then we'll bring the elbows in front of the body. We'll lift them up towards the sky, draw them behind, drop them down, and then sweep them forward again. So taking these big circles in the shoulders and try to keep the spine nice and long as you're doing this so that you're really working into the shoulders specifically. I'll take one more in this direction. And then we'll reverse those sweeping elbows back, lifting them up, maybe breathing in. And start to find the breath. And then let's reach fingertips away from each other. So really full wingspan, reach, reach, reach very long. And then we'll cross the right arm over the left and imagine your fingertips reaching toward one another, creating some space between your shoulder blades. And now as you're here, start to feel your front body, your heart space, just melt into your arms as if you are using your arms to protect this sweet, soft heart space. Maybe you drop your chin down or close your eyes. You might even rock a little bit. Rocking can be a powerful tool for regulating the nervous system. We'll go to the other side. So reaching arms long again, finding that full opening. And then exhaling left over right, feeling the fingertips reaching again toward one another. And then just softening the heart into the arms. Again, if you'd like to rock a little bit, maybe you really use your finger pads to just squeeze your body. wrapping yourself up. And then we'll find that extension again. Maybe a breath in, resting it down. Nice. So we'll reach arms up, breath in, get long on both sides of the body, and then we'll twist towards the left. So the left hand will come behind you. The right hand will come to your knee or your thigh, wherever it comes. Imagine both your sits bones rooting down through the ground like roots of a tree, as the top part, your thoracic spine, your mid back, your upper back, spiral around. Imagine that left shoulder blade just drawing down the back. And then we'll lift the left hand up towards the ceiling and then bend over towards the right side. So finding a side body stretch here. Perhaps a breath in to lengthen. And then as we exhale, we'll bring both hands to both knees and round the spine. So dropping chin down, squeezing out all the air, and then rolling shoulders back, pulling the sternum forward, chin lifts, and then back to neutral. Go to the other side. So lifting up, reaching long, and then turning towards the right. Right hand comes behind. Left can rest anywhere on the leg as you spiral. Inhale, lifting the right hand up and over towards the left side. So you can actually use that left hand holding onto your leg to support you a little bit, even to provide a little resistance as you stretch a little further, perhaps breathing in. And then we'll exhale, drawing hands to knees, rounding the spine, dropping chin to chest, and then rolling shoulders back, opening up through the heart. And then coming back to center. So we'll do that again using our breath with the movement and moving just a little quicker, okay? So you can follow me or you can go at your own pace. And that's always really the invitation. So we'll breathe in. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale, lift the left hand up. Exhale, reach over towards the right. Inhale, reach a little further. Exhale, curl. Inhale, open. Exhale, rest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Towards the right. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, reach. Inhale, get long. Exhale, curl. Inhale, open. Exhale, rest. Nicely done. So we'll move into cat cow. You have an option here. If being in a tabletop position just isn't feeling good today, then you can do it from a seated posture and it's the same spinal movement, okay? So if you'd like, you can stay where you are for your cat and cow, or you can start to come into a tabletop. If you're in the tabletop, hands are underneath shoulders, knees are underneath hips, fingers are spread nice and wide. And then wherever you are, tabletop or seated, we'll roll shoulders back. We'll open up through the heart space, chin lifts, perhaps breathing in. And then exhale, drawing navel in towards spine, creating space between both of your shoulder blades as chin drops. So take a few rounds here. You have the movement sequence. It's up to you to move with your own breath. Pause where you need to pause. And then maybe you take some other movements. So if you're seated, you might just create some circles. If you're in that tabletop, maybe you also do some circles or some wiggles. Just moving the body, moving the spine, checking in with yourself. And then we'll all find our way to lay down on the front body. So if you're from tabletop and you want to lower down from plank or from your knees, you're welcome to do that. Or you can just find your way there. And we'll take a moment to let the whole body soften into the surface that's supporting you. So maybe you rest your cheek on your hands. Maybe you rest your forehead on your hands. I'm keeping my head lifted just for the purposes of the microphone, but we're resting the head down, releasing the neck. Feeling the muscles of the abdomen soften. And we'll start to draw the hands open to sort of like goalposts. And then start to lift the elbows up towards the ceiling, lift up onto the fingertips. So we're tenting the fingers. And then start to peel the chest up off of the mat just a little bit. Feel the pubic bone pressing into the mat, tops of the feet resting on the mat. You might take a breath in. And then we'll exhale, dropping the left shoulder towards the ground. We'll go to the other side. Breath in. Exhale, dropping left shoulder towards the mat. Inhale through center. Dropping to the right. Taking away from your shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. So take a few rounds on your own time, just moving with your body, moving with your breath. We'll come back through center and then let the body soften down again, finding that rest for just a moment. And then we'll start to bring the hands underneath of the shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide, the tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Start to roll the shoulders back, draw the elbows in close to the body, and then press into the palms, peeling your chest off of the mat, coming into a cobra or baby cobra. So keeping elbows bent or starting to straighten them. Keeping the back of the neck nice and long. feeling the crown elongating, the breath moving. We'll inhale here. And then we will exhale, either coming down to lie down, or you can press back to a child's pose. So bringing the hips back to the heels and resting the head down. You can bring a block underneath the head if the head doesn't touch the ground. Or if child's pose just isn't feeling right in the body today, then you can sit up on your heels. Maybe put a blanket under your heels, whatever you need to do. So if you're in child's pose or if you're lying down on your front body, we're all going to meet on the knees. So just walking hands back, sitting up, whatever you need to do. So we'll come to the knees, knees underneath hips. If it feels uncomfortable to be on the knees, you can pad up with a blanket or you can roll up your mat, which will give you a little extra cushioning. Okay. So whatever works. So from the knees, we'll move through a modified sun salutation. So we'll inhale, reaching arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, hands come to hips. We'll roll the shoulders back, lift the sternum, lift the chin. And then as we exhale, we'll lower down onto the front body again. So however you need to. And then we'll roll shoulders back, press into the palms, lift up into that back bend. And then we'll exhale, pressing back to child's pose or sitting on the heels. Let's flow through that again. So coming up to the knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to hips. Shoulders roll back, open heart. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, press back to child's pose. We'll take 2 more rounds of this movement sequence. So you can move with me or you can start to find your own rhythm. Opening up through the heart and lowering down. I'll go quiet to give you some space. And we'll all meet in a child's pose or sitting on the heels, whichever variation feels more relaxing for you. And start to reground your energy here. So this is an opportunity to recenter, to recalibrate, either here in child's pose or sitting on your heels in meditation. Just checking in with yourself. We'll start to find our way to a standing position. Now, I'll lead you through a flow. You're welcome to skip it if you want to. You can just stand on up. That would be perfectly fine, perfectly beautiful. You also have the option to come up into downward facing dog, so lifting the hips towards the ceiling. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Knees can be bent or straightened, whichever. Pressing into the palms, really elongating the spine. And then walking feet in to hands. If you'd like, you can give yourself a moment here in forward fold Uttanasana. Knees can be bent, the back of the neck releasing down like your head is a ripe piece of fruit on a tree. And then starting to roll up, stacking the spine one vertebra at a time. And when we meet in standing, we'll lift shoulders up to the ears, breath in, and breath out. Letting shoulders rest. We made it, Tadasana, mountain pose. So we'll lift the toes up off of the mat and then fan them out. We'll try to press them down, pinky toe inwards, all the way to the big toe, building a nice strong foundation here. Beautiful. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see me better. We'll take a breathing practice known as breath of joy. This is intended to bring some more energy into the body. It's a good one to do if you're noticing yourself dissociate or even if you're just feeling really lethargic. And if you start to get lightheaded or if you have high blood pressure or any eye injuries, head injuries, then maybe this is one that you'll skip. So tune in, see what works for you. So it's 3 quick inhales through the nose. And we're filling up first the lowest part of the breath, like we did with Dirga. We go middle part, upper part, and then breathe out through the mouth with a ha. Okay, so it's a ha. And the arm movement is front, side, up, and then down. Knees bend a little bit. Okay, so let's put those things together. Ready? Here we go. One more. Inhale, lift the hands. Pause at the top. And then exhale. Let it all go. Just notice. All right. Now that we're a little bit more awake, move into some standing postures. So we'll start to transfer the weight to, well, let's go this way. I'm going to turn. We'll transfer the weight into the right foot. So just first notice that shift, transferring the weight. Okay. And then we'll take a step back with the left foot. So finding your way into a high lunge. The back heel is lifted. The front knee is stacked over the ankle, tracking your second toe. Imagine your tailbone reaching down towards the ground. And then we'll lift the arms up. Back knee can be bent or straight. So we'll inhale, reach a little longer, lifting up through the ribs. And then we'll open up into a warrior two. So the back edge of your back foot is parallel with your mat. We'll bend into that front knee, feeling yourself reaching in both directions. The gaze is over the front hand. Find your breath. Notice what happens when you come into stillness. We'll flip the front palm. The back palm will come to the back leg and we'll reach up and over away from the front leg. So finding a peaceful warrior here. Your gaze can look up towards the ceiling or down. Might feel that front leg. And then we'll come up and we'll start to windmill our hands down to the ground. So if you have yoga blocks and you like to use them, then you can place your yoga blocks where I'm sort of pantomiming them right now. Or you can bring your hands down. Okay, so finding a low lunge. Now you can deepen the lunge by drawing that knee back, or you can, I guess, not deepen, but that would be adding more sensation. Or you can bring that back knee in a little closer to your hips, which will prevent the lunge from becoming a little too intense. So find where you need to be, where that knee needs to be placed. And your hands can be down on the ground or on the blocks, or you can bring them to your front thigh. Let them rest there, keeping that heart lifted. And then wherever you are, we'll find our way to lifting the arms up. And then hold onto that left wrist. And we'll take it over towards the right side. So bringing in a side body stretch. Now you might start to wobble a little bit, and that's all right, right? That's what we're here to do, is to just notice what happens in the body. Try to show ourselves some compassion. We'll come back through center. Hands can come down. Again, they can be on blocks or you can bring them to your hips. And we'll shift our weight back to that back knee. So if you need to pad up under the knee, you can do that again. So again, hands can be down or up. We're just going to rock. So bending into that front knee and rocking back, flexing the foot. Bending and rocking back. Keep going. We'll meet rocking back onto that knee. And try to make sure that your hips are square here. So maybe drawing that right hip back. We'll inhale, lift the arms, reach up, get long through the whole spine. And then as you exhale, you might start to hinge, or maybe you're already feeling the stretch here, in which case you can stay there, or you can start to bring your heart up and over that front leg. If you're finding it challenging to balance, again, you can bring your hands to blocks. Or maybe you inch that right heel out to the side a little further just to widen your base. This is Ardha Hanumanasana. And then start to bring your weight back forward over that front leg. And we'll come back to either child's pose or downward facing dog. So the choice is yours. Whatever you need to do to reset. We'll find our way back to a standing posture. So again, if you'd like to flow, you're welcome to do that. Or you can just stand on up. If you'd like to follow me, you can come into your downward facing dog and then walking hands or walking feet to hands, finding that Uttanasana forward fold, and then rolling up, stacking the spine one building block at a time. Shoulders lift, shoulders rest. And we'll go to our left side. So I'm going to turn just so I don't have my back towards you in warrior two. And again, finding that mountain pose, that Tadasana, hands active, feet firmly planting into the ground, the muscles of the leg wrapping onto the bone, sturdy. Start to shift your weight into that left foot and then begin stepping back with control, finding your high lunge. So again, setting up here, knee tracking second toe, sending energy out through that back heel, tailbone reaches towards the ground, and then we'll lift hands up. Imagine creating space between your pelvis and your ribs. And then we'll open up, spiraling that back heel down, finding your warrior two, reaching in opposite directions, gazing over the front hand. Calling in your presence, even in stillness. And then flipping the front palm, back palm to back leg, we'll reach up and over, away from that front leg. Peaceful warrior. Creating space between each of your ribs. And then we'll start to windmill the hands down. So maybe finding your blocks, maybe finding the ground, coming into your low lunge. Again, choose how much sensation you'd like to feel. It's up to you, right? I don't know your body. Hands can stay down. Hands can come to the leg. Noticing where you're feeling the stretch, maybe in that hip flexor, maybe elsewhere in the body as well. And then either with the hands down. Oh, I almost forgot. We're going to reach up towards the sky. And then this time holding on to your left or your right wrist. Inhale, reach it up. And then over towards the left side. So breathing into that right lung. Maybe noticing yourself wobbling and holding space for whatever the experience is, right? We'll inhale to come up. Exhale, hands can come down to the ground or blocks, maybe the hips. And then we'll start to rock back. So maybe feeling a little relief in that front leg and then rocking forward and back. And we'll meet on that back knee. Instability. It's okay if it's challenging. We'll inhale, reaching both arms up, get a little taller. And then hands come to hips. Front toe is flexed. And then maybe starting to hinge, leading with the heart. Maybe it's just the most subtle of tilts. Notice your breath. And then we'll rock back forward and find your way to, let's do a child's pose. Or maybe you take that down dog and then lower into child's pose. It's up to you. From child's pose, start to walk your hands over to the right side of your mat and press your left palm onto the top of your right hand. As you breathe in, imagine that left side body, that left lung expanding. And then as you exhale, we'll walk through center and then over towards that left side. Right hand, palm presses onto the top of the left. And then breathing into that right rib, right lung, filling up the whole side body. And letting it go as you come through center. And we'll start to walk hands back, coming up to a tall spine. We'll shift the legs in front. So I'll offer you um, a few different options here. So if you would like to take a hip stretch, then you can come into butterfly. So bringing the soles of your feet together, letting the knees drop open. If stretching into the hips is just feeling a little too intense today, then you're welcome to take a forward fold variation that I've heard called caterpillar. So bending the knees deeply and then letting the front body just drop over. And you can hold onto the feet and then inch the heels away as much as you need to, but trying to keep the front body resting on the thighs. So those are two choices. I will leave some space for you to take whichever variation that you're going to take. And wherever you are, finding that length in the spine, as you breathe in. And then clearing out as you exhale, letting the body become softer as you come into your stretch. So I'm here doing butterfly, but again, it's up to you. You can choose the other variation. So if you're also joining me in butterfly, imagine getting tall, softening hip flexors down, getting tall again, and then hinging. Sometimes when we know that we're going to go into a stretch, our body will seize up a little bit and sort of brace itself. And it's helpful just to take a moment beforehand to just soften the body, say, it's okay. It's all right. I won't stretch past your limit. If you're in that caterpillar, that forward fold, just letting the back of the neck soften. Maybe feeling your breath on your knees or feeling the wind of your own breath. And then wherever you are, we'll release the stretch. So we'll start to come into our final rest, Shavasana. And we'll be here for just about 5 minutes or so. And you are welcome to turn on some music if that's helpful for you, or to find a blanket. Or maybe you take it in a meditation today. So I'll show you some options. You can be lying down on your back in constructive rest, just like we started. You can take sort of a traditional Shavasana with the legs extended, arms resting by your side, palms up. Maybe you're on your side. So the choice is yours. I'm going to come up to a seat. Find your way into your final resting posture. Start to soften the jaw, unfurl your eyebrows. Just notice where your body is making contact with the surface beneath you. Letting yourself sink into those spaces. And your eyes might close. Maybe not. Just giving ourselves permission to come into ease. And just letting the body be breathed. Enjoy your rest. If you'd like to stay in your rest a little longer, then I invite you to. If you are ready to start to close your practice, and as you're ready, start to deepen the breath. Maybe just making some very gentle movements in the fingers and the toes. Maybe circling wrists and ankles, rocking the head side to side as if you were making an impression in sand. And even maybe taking a full body stretch. So, reaching the arms up, reaching the legs long if you're lying down, yawning open the body, and then rolling onto one side and just pausing there a moment, honoring yourself, honoring your body, your practice. And then on your own time, you can press up to a comfortable seated position. Your eyes can stay closed with the gaze lowered and softened. Maybe your hands rest on your legs, or maybe you bring a hand to your heart and then a hand to your abdomen or your solar plexus. And we'll close with 3 cleansing breaths. So in through the nose and out with a sigh. Breath in, clear it out. Again, breath in, let it go. Last one together, breath in, really dig deep. And really let something go with a sound. And then, if you'd like, you can join your palms together in front of your heart, taking a moment of gratitude for yourself, for all your efforts and ease today. And with that, I have gratitude for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for letting me be part of your practice today. Thank you. I hope that served you well. And if you enjoyed this practice, please let me know. And if you'd like more classes like that, also, please let me know. Or if you have any questions or comments, I am happy to receive that. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you next time. Thanks for flowing with me. I'm Natalie.